First, KX News at 5 starts now.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Chad Mira.
And I'm Lauren Culver. Thanks for watching tonight. In our top story, was he a drug kingpin or just one of many drug users in Wells County? Should his sentence be 7 years or more than 40 years?
Those questions and more were raised in a day-long hearing to determine the sentence for Alexander Lail. Jim Olson has filed the case from the beginning and was in the courtroom as it ended.
From the start of the sentencing hearing,
I've never had anybody handcuffed during a sentencing hearing before.
To the end,
I've never been as disappointed with a jury verdict in my life as I was with this verdict.
Alexander Lail's attorney maintained the case was unparalleled in his 4 decades of litigating.
I've never seen anything like this, Judge.
The chief investigator agreed the Lail case was unique.
He took substantial steps and extraordinary steps that I've never experienced in my career on major crimes.
Even the judge proclaimed the case's unusual nature.
Unique in my experience in the criminal justice system in the last 19 years.
After Judge Daniel Narum ruled Lail would remain in handcuffs because law enforcement was in charge of courtroom security, the prosecution called witness after witness, spanning more than 4 hours of testimony, designed to convince the judge to rule Lail a special dangerous offender. That designation would allow a longer prison sentence. But the judge said a key requirement of the law, establishing that Lail has a mental abnormality, was not proven.
You asked me to make that finding with no expert testimony, and I'm troubled by that.
That left the job of deciding on a sentence on 2 convictions for attempted murder as ruled by a jury last summer and 6 guilty pleas that followed. The 2 sides had wildly different ideas, the prosecution seeking at least 42 years in prison.
He certainly was himself bringing in large amounts of meth in multiple areas in Fessenden and Harvey and around the area.
But the defense suggesting 7 years.
What the state did is take a mid-level drug dealer and turn him into the Al Capone of Wells County.
Before the judge ruled, the defendant, who had already apologized in a brief statement earlier, was given a second chance to speak, and in a long, sometimes tearful narrative, said he had only pled guilty to get the case over with.
I wanted to take that to court. I wanted the day in court to be proven not guilty.
In the end, Judge Narum sentenced Alexander Lail to 12 years in prison, with credit for the almost 2 years that he's been in jail since he was arrested. After that, he'll have 5 years of probation. Jim Olson, KX News.
Judge Narum reminded Lail that he can appeal his convictions for attempted murder.
Fire crews returned